What the fuck is up, everyone? Prison Meddler here. For the first time, I'm doing two bands and ranking every two bands' albums in one video. So as you may know, for preparation for Soulfly's new album, whatever that's called, preparation for that, we will be reviewing every single album from them. Now, why am I reviewing Sepultura and Soulfly? Now, here's things first. Originally, I was going to do entirely a Soulfly ranking, but whenever I listen to Soulfly, it makes me want to listen to Sepultura again, because ever since Max Cavalera left Sepultura, he kind of took that sound with him. Like, whenever Derek Green came in, it feels like a complete different band, and I may be in a minority here. Max Cavalera, he just took the sound with him. For some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, guys, now here's the thing. We're not reviewing every single Sepultura album. We are only reviewing the Max Cavalera albums. We're not reviewing the Derek Green albums. After Roots, we will move to Soulfly. And this is split into two parts. So, for this video, we will review every Sepultura album. And then after Roots, we will switch to Soulfly. Because, like I said before, I feel like Max Cavalera took the entire sound of Sepultura with him. I may be the minority on this, but oh well. I'm not saying the Derek Green stuff are bad or anything like that. Like, I do like several albums, like Against, Machine Messiah, Alex. Those are pretty good albums, but it's just not the same without Max Cavalera. That's all. And also, we will not review any other Max Cavalera projects, such as Nail Bomb or Cavalera Conspiracy or any of that, because that's gonna take forever. As per normal, we go through each album in order of release. I'm not interested in EPs, demos, compilations, or live albums. We're only going through studio albums. And yes, we are switching back to scores out of 5s this time. So with 0 being the worst and 5 being the best. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and begin. So yeah, guys, just like Halloween, we are splitting this video into two parts because it's going to take the video too long. So anyways, starting up, we got is Morbid Visions. Released November 10, 1986 off of Kagumio Records. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I guess it's an underground record label. As you may know, this album pretty much, it kind of has this like black metal, death metal-ish type sound to it. It's got like its satanic themes throughout with an imagery. And it's got a lot of influences from bands like Venom and Celtic Frost. And yeah, it has very low production, but it fits well to it. It's got like some blast beats here and there. Troops of Doom is a great song. I also love the song War. Empire of the Damned kicks fucking ass. And yeah, it's like a 33-minute album. And the lyrics are kind of simple. Like, from what I'm reading, the band members are learning English. As you may know, Sepultura is Brazilian. And they're pretty much learning English, so it doesn't have a lot of lyrical content on there. But anyways, guys, I thought it's a solid record despite low quality, so I'm going to go for a strong 3 to 5, probably leaning towards a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it's a solid record. I don't really have a lot to say for it, so yeah, it's a solid record. Alright, next up we got is Schizophrenia, released October 30th, 1987, off of Kagumio record. Again, it's the same record from their last album. I say this album is a lot improved from their Morbid Visions album. This is when they really found their sound, even though the production's a little crappy, but hey, it kicks ass. Tons of great songs, like From the Past Comes the Storm is a fantastic way to open the track. To the Wall is great. Okay, Equation Symphony, it kicks so much fucking ass. It's got some heavier riffs. Yeah, I pretty much like R.I.P. Rest in Pain. It's a lot darker lyrics, too. And I think this is their first album with Andreas Kisser on there, too. But yeah, guys, now, I know this was re-recorded later by Cavalera Conspiracy with much more better produced. But yeah, guys, I mean, it doesn't really hold up as the next two albums, but it's a really solid listen, and I wouldn't really start with this album, but It's kicks ass, and I could see some people give this a classic. So, I'll go for a 3.5 to 5. I thought this was a really good record. Not a enthusiastic one, just a middle of the road 3.5 to 5. So, yeah, I thought it's a pretty good record. Alright, next up we got is Beneath the Remains, released April 7, 1989, and holy shit, this album sucks so bad. I'm just fucking with y'all. This album is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, this album is a thrash classic. Lots of kick-ass riffs, a lot of higher tempos. They really, truly found their sound. It continues off with the thrash elements from Schizophrenia. It's a lot better produced. They found their producer from Scott Burns, who's mostly a death metal producer. He's known for producing albums like Obituaries, Slowly Rewrought, Cannibal Corpse, and Deicide, and many others. Gore Guts, yeah. I mean, he's known for producing most of the death metal records throughout the 90s, and he really did well, like, perfect mixing throughout this record. I mean, starts off with Beneath the Remains, which kicks fucking ass. It's full of crunchy riffs. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a thrash classic, so I'm going to go for 4.5 to 5. I thought this was an amazing record. This is probably my favorite metal album of 1989. It's either that or Morbid Angel's debut album, Altars of Madness. It's kind of back and forth between that, but I think I like Beneath the Remains a little bit more, so yeah, I mean, it's a fucking classic record. Alright, next up we got is Arise, released March 25th, 1991, off of Roadrunner Records, and yes, guys, I think we came to the point where I think this is Sepultura's best album to date. This album is fucking amazing. Like, holy shit, it's got fucking riffs, like really fucking crunchy riffs. And it's got some more experimentations through it. It's got some industrial, some hardcore punk, and it's got some, Latina elements throughout. Like, they kind of added more in the future Sepultura records, or anything from Max Cavalera in general. Like, it starts off with Arise, which is a fucking classic song. Dead Ebronic Cell. Desperate Cries. I fucking love that song, Desperate Cry. It's just so fucking crunchy riffs throughout. Like, I'd say every single song is just flat out perfect. I don't know. I would probably put it in the same league as albums like Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Rust in Peace. I say this is easily the best metal album of 1991. I can't say what else to say here. Scott Burns is a fantastic producer. You know what? I mean, I was thinking about going for a 4.5 to 5, but when I was going through these songs and stuff like that, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. I thought this was perfect. I would probably put it as one of the best thrash albums of all time. This album is just flat out perfect. Despite thrash slowly dying, replacing with groove metal, this album really fucking stands up, and it's definitely a classic. And if you're a thrash fan and you have not listened to this album, what the fuck are you doing? You can't be a thrash fan and not listen to this album. You need to fucking listen to this album. It's a fucking classic. It's easily my favorite record from Sepultura, without a fucking doubt. It's easily my favorite album by them. Okay, next up we got is Chaos AD, released September 1993, off of Roadrunner / Epic Records. Now, this is where the band kind of has some changes. Like, this band kind of switched to groove metal, and it pretty much kept it there for the rest of their career, while still containing the thrash elements. As you may know, around that time, groove metal became big with bands like Pantera, White Zombie, Machine Head, etc. This is when they got a lot more attention with it. It's got a lot of great songs too, like Chaos AD, no, that's not a song. What the hell? Refuse, Resist, Territory, Slave New World. I fucking love that song. It still has some thrash sounds to it. Like Biotech is Godzilla, stuff like that. And it's kind of adds some more tribal elements. Like, It's pretty much what Max Cavalera did throughout Soulfly, with tracks like Kiowas, which is an instrumental. Clenched Fist was a great way to close the track. I really love the outro. I love the melodic stuff on the outro, the melodies and stuff like that. We Who Are Not As Others is a great track. Yeah, it still keeps the thrash elements, but it's mainly a groove album, so it's definitely one of my favorite albums of 1993. I am not complaining at all with this album. Whether they switched to a new sound or not, they kept it consistent. So I'm going to go for 4 to 5. I thought this was a really great record. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't listened to this album, check it out. It's another classic album from Sepultura, for sure. Definitely a Max Cavalera classic, as you may say. Okay, next up we got is Roots, released February 20th, 1996, off of Roadrunner Records once again. Now, as we know, this is the band's last album with Max Cavalera, as he left the band in 1997, I believe. No, I'm sorry, late 1996, after on tour. He's not really in good terms with the band, including his brother, since after that, him and Igor kind of went estranged, but we'll talk about that most likely in part 2 on my video. So, as we know, this also had a much more change to it. While it's primarily a groove metal or new metal record, I kind of more consider this as more of a groove album than a new album. Because, I mean, not as much as a new metal song as it was in Soulfly's early materials, but you know, it's mostly a groove album. They completely abandoned the thrash sound, like completely. And no, I'm not saying this album sucks or anything like that. It's a really good album. Don't get me wrong, I definitely enjoyed it. It's a lot more experimental than Chaos AD, that's for sure. Like it's a lot. You hear more percussion than Chaos AD. You hear more like this Latin elements to it. It's more like a tribal type sound throughout the album entirely. Like it's got a lot of things to switch up here. Like with tracks like Roots, Bloody Roots, which is a classic song by Sepultura, Rata Hamada, another solid song, and which features David Silveria, who is former drummer from Korn. And speaking of Korn, Jonathan Davis was featured on Look Away, which also featured Mike Patton from Faith No More and DJ Lethal from Limp Bizkit. And I'll say this, is this the Sepultura sound that I wanted to hear? No, I mean, it may not be one I wanted to hear, but I ain't complaining. I feel like it's full of originality throughout. I do think the tribal stuff fits with this type of sound. And yeah, it's got some great guest features, which would happen on later on in Soulfly. I do like it's full of originality. I'm a little bit complaining. It's mainly the closing track, Canyon Jam. Well, it's kind of like a jam type track, but it's like 13 minutes, and I'm not quite digging the instrumentals as well, such as Jasko and Born Stubborn. No, I'm sorry. That's not the... No. It's Sorry and Jasko. Those are the 2 instrumental tracks. My bad. I mean, especially when it's a track after another. But otherwise, guys, I wouldn't say it's as strong as, you know, the last 3 albums, but I prefer it more than the first 2, so I'm going to go for a very strong 3.5 to 5. I thought this was a pretty good record. Yeah, I know some of you may expect me to rate it higher, and yes, I can see it's a very influential album in the new metal genre. Well, duh, it's got members from Korn and Limp Bizkit on there, so, you know, there's that. But otherwise, guys, I do like the album. Don't get me wrong. It's good, but it's not my favorite album by Sepultura. Sorry. I know it's some of you guys' favorites, but no, it's not mine. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but I do enjoy it, but it's not my favorite. Alright, guys, so now moving on to Soulfly. You guys, their self-titled debut, released April 21st, 1998, off of Roadrunner Records. Now, between Roots and this album, Max is pretty not happy during around that period. Where, you know, with this time with Sepultura, you know, with the band members firing his wife. I mean, I think his wife was their tour manager, and he felt like he was betrayed. Even his own brother which during around that period they were not in good terms, and which caused him to leave the band and form Soulfly. But besides all that, with this album, I say it pretty much continues off where Roots is. Like, it pretty much has the same sound with it. The little bit difference is it kind of adds more of a thrash elements to it on a few songs, but not a lot. I say I kind of consider this as Roots Part 2. I mean, I say it's a little more heavier, but they still kept the experimentations, with helps from Fear Factory, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, Cypress Hill, Skin Dread, and stuff like that, I mean, they still have the guests of with songs like Eye for an Eye, which features Burton C. Bell, and Dino Casares from Fear Factory. Bleed features Fred Durst and DJ Lethal from Limp Bizkit. And I kind of like how Max kind of brought back this thrashy groove sound. I don't mean like, when I mean the thrash sound, I don't mean like Beneath the Remains or Arise, that type of stuff. With tracks like The Song Remains the Same, I say it's more like a Chaos AD type sound to it. Like I kind of like they kind of bring back a bit, which is completely abandoned from Roots. Like, they kind of bring back a little bit of thrash elements to it. But overall, I do like the tribal experiments throughout. I kind of do like the Soulfly instrumental track throughout. I kind of like the dark atmosphere on tracks like First Commandment, which features Chino Moreno from Deftones. Especially on the outro with his haunting vocals from Chino. I absolutely love. It sounds very haunting for me. And Boom Bop, very fun, definitely hard-hitting song. Tribe, I absolutely like. So, yeah, guys, my only complaint is I'm just not a fan of the closer track with the hidden track and stuff like that. I don't really dig the song which features I can't pronounce his name. He's from Skin Dread, which I'm not quite a fan of. But overall, I think this is a pretty good record. I think it's just as good as Roots, so I'm also feeling a 3.5 to 5. I thought this was a pretty good record. Really solid debut for... I'm going to be honest, I kind of consider Soulfly as Max's solo project, to be honest with you. And this may be kind of a hot take. I say Soulfly is my least favorite project from Max Cavalera. Even though I do like Soulfly, this is kind of my least favorite, which I could explain later in part 2. But overall, it's a fun listen. Check it out. Alright, next up we got is Primitive, released September 28, 2000 off of Roadrunner Records once again. Now, I say this album continues off with this new metal sound. I kind of consider this Roots, Diet Roots. No, scratch that. More like Roots Zero. No flavor, no sugar to it, I guess. Now, look, I'm not saying this is a bad record, and I know many Soulfly will say this is their best record, but I highly disagree. Now, no, this is not a bad record. Don't get me wrong. I do like several things from this album. I kind of find this record overrated. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some great moments like Back to the Primitive, Jump the Fuck Up, Terrorist featuring Tom Araya. Those are great songs. But there's some filler on there as well. Like, there are some tracks I just don't really like. Like, I don't like the track In Memory Of with all this rapping. Like, it just does not fit well. Like I said, there's some great songs. Like, I do like Back to the Primitive, Jump the Fuck Up, which features Corey Taylor from Slipknot. I do like Sun's Song. I kind of do like this track. I kind of like how this tribute features Sean Lennon. For those who don't know, Sean Lennon is John Lennon's son, which I do dig. I do like Terrorist. Bring It's a good one. But there are some few tracks I just don't care for. I did not like Malibu, which I kind of find that a little cringe. Didn't like Pain, which features Chino Moreno and Grady Avanel, which I don't know who that is. I think he's from Will Haven. The production kind of sounds more modern, if you know what I mean. I'd rather have... It probably would sound better if they have Ross Robinson on there. But, And it sounded a lot more basic, too. Yeah, I don't know if... No, not their best record. Sorry, I don't think it's their best. I'm going to go for a 3 out of 5. Not a enthusiastic one, like a light 3 out of 5. Maybe leaning towards a 2.5 out of 5. I mean, it does have some good stuff on there, don't get me wrong, but the reason why it's a 3 out of 5, because it has some... Because of the songs I do like, for the most part. Like, there's more good songs on there than songs I just don't care for, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, there's that. Alright, next up we got is 3, released June 25th, 2002, off of Roadrunner, once again, and this may be a hot take, guys. I think this is better than Primitive. But no, it's not better than Self-Titled or Roots or any of that. Nowhere near as close as classics. I kind of, when they kind of bring back to their old roots, like more of their groove thrash sound, like from Chaos AD, it's starting to lean more into that. But yes, they still retain their new metal roots, you know, with tracks like Seek and Strike, Downstroy, Interfaith, and stuff like that. I mean, I do like the thrashier stuff with tracks like Tree of Pain. I find Tree of Pain a very underrated song. Brazel kind of hits pretty hard. Four Elements is a good one. But, yes, there's a lot of filler on there, too, with tracks like One Nation, which is a cover, and mainly their tribal stuff, like Zaga de Barrio, I can't pronounce it, and maybe the closing track and stuff like that. So, yeah, and I do like this little 1-minute silent track, which is a tribute to the victims of the 9/11 attacks, stuff like that. So, I kind of say this is a pretty underrated record, so I'm going to go for a 3 out of 5 as well. Not a enthusiastic one, just like a middle of the row 3 out of 5. So, yeah, guys, I find this is a pretty underrated record. Now, yes, I did put this at the pretty low in my ranking every Soulfly album, but I don't know why. It kind of grew into me. I guess it's probably because I kind of like this when they kind of go back to their roots type sound to it, but it's a solid listen. I say it's kind of like a mix between Roots and Chaos AD a bit. Like, a lot bigger mix than their self-titled album. But, you know, I do enjoy it. I think this is their last album with their new metal sound, and they kind of bring it back in onto their next album. So, yeah, guys, it's a solid listen, but yeah, it still has some filler here and there. Alright, guys, we'll stop here. We will finish the rest of Soulfly on part 2, which will be out next week. So anyways, guys, if you enjoy this, which I hope you do, subscribe for more content and all that bullshit, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everyone.